Today, Precarious plays
Fire Emblem.
I have so much that I want to say about Fates. Conquest, because that's important. I should mention that I didn't play Birthright. I didn't... Revelation? Is it Revelation? I didn't play the third route. I don't even know where to start, because I've just got so many feelings and so many words, and for every positive, there was a negative, and I don't even know where to start.
I know relationships are hard, but you just have to muddle through it, okay?
Because it's like, okay, so the structure, the campaign structure on its own seems great, seems much improved. I do like it better than Awakening, but it's damaged by the online component. Because even though whenever you raid enemy players' castles, you can't gain experience, and I don't think you can gain weapon skill, but you can gain friendship points, like camaraderie points between units.
Yes, these are important.
Yes. And it lets you... I think if I were playing it on lunatic mode, I would not be able to... I'd have to do it. I'd have to use that to my advantage to get those relationship bonuses sooner rather than later. But the big thing that's damaged by... And the online portion damages more than just the campaign structure a little bit. It also damages the weapon, the changes to weapon durability. So, you did
Bait.
it bad.
No, it's bait.
It's two archers. Kent and Sane could have just ridden out from behind Wallace. If that was bait, that was bad bait.
Okay.
It was a poor tactical
I'll
decision.
have Sarah step back for a second and use a Vuri.
Vurry?
Yeah. Come on, Sarah, let's go. Go over here.
Okay, so weapons, except for staves, equipment, except for staves, no longer features durability in Fates, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead, to balance things, and I prefer the way weapons are balanced now, like in the newest one, in Fates. Because instead of just having durability be the limiting factor, instead they just have usually much more meaningful penalties associated with them. For example, I'm pretty sure that silver weapons are very, very powerful. But in addition to a few other things, like I think they might impose a penalty to dodge, which means you're more easily critically hit.
Mm-hmm.
They also reduce your stats temporarily when you use them. Actually, no, I think by the end of the game I realized that it was just until like the battle ends or until some outside force improves those stats. And that's a much better trade. You really have to think like, okay, is this the time? Is this when I'm gonna want to bust out my silver sword, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's another... Oh, no, you don't have to rescue Matthew, just have Nils play for Wallace, and then Wallace can move further, can move to the north.
Yes, good plan. Sometimes I forget about Nils, which is a shame, because he really just doubles every character that you could ever want to have, so...
Right.
Yep.
One thing that came straight out of my brain and made me so happy to see is that every character has a personal skill that they don't share with anyone else, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just theirs. And I think I just like that one. I don't think there's a but.
There's no but.
Yeah, there's no but on that one.
No but on that one.
What's another thing that... Oh, right, of course. So, the weapons are damaged by the online component because usually the best thing you can do and have Lindis trail just in case enemies come up behind you.
Good plan.
So, the best option for your weapons most of the time is just forging better iron weapons. Like a very well-maintained iron weapon. And I'm speaking from very recent, very successful personal experience. Reinforced iron weapons will take you all the way through the game. Like, I'm pretty sure that all of my critical characters wound up with just either a +3 or a +4. Depending on, like, what their role was. Like, the more supportive characters, actually, I usually gave them the slightly... Like, characters that, because of their stats, wound up just not being as strong. They usually got the +4s, and then the characters that were naturally gifted at combat wound up with, like, the +3s. By the time you get to that point, I'm pretty sure that they are as good as a regular silver weapon without any of the drawbacks. And I don't actually think that the cost is too much different anyway. Like, I can't remember, I did the math before I started investing. But the way it works is, to get an iron sword +1, you take 2 iron swords, and then you take them to the forge and smush them together. And whenever you do that, you get +2 to might.
Mm-hmm.
And then, to get a +2 iron sword, you have to take 2 +1 iron swords, so that's 4 iron swords total, and then mash them all together. So it does wind up being pretty wasteful, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because just getting to +2, I'm pretty sure that without any discounts, that's 4,000 gold. It's 4,000 gold worth of iron sword. But if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure that silver weapons, that's about the price of a silver weapon, if I remember correctly. They were like either 2,500 or... It hardly matters just because so many characters start with that quality of weapon anyway. So you're gonna get a few for free, and by the time you've used the lottery, you might get some more for free. I don't know if I'm doing a very good job of explaining my feelings on this game. There's just so many things, and it's so complicated, and so many interconnected systems, which all sounds great, but it just... They tend to be so damaging to other parts of the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. And why the fuck... Okay, spoilers for Fire Emblem Fates. The children's system does not need to be a series staple. It does not need to be in every fucking game moving forward. And the way that they explain it in this is bullshit. It's stupid. I mean, it's stupid, and it makes all of your characters just seem so... kind of cruel.
Yeah, I remember you were talking about this, you know, over kitchen times.
Yeah, so in Fates, whenever your characters mate and reproduce, your characters have and Bale, just have the text be on the screen the whole time, and then make it like flash whenever I'm done talking about this shit, I guess. Whenever they mate and reproduce... Wait, do you hear that? There's still more enemies on the map than just the boss. You should explore to the north.
Okay.
Your characters reproduce and have kids, and because you're in the middle of a war or whatever, your characters decide that the safest place for those kids is in like an alternate pocket dimension called a deep realm, where they rapidly age to near adulthood. But you're like in more than one support conversation you have between the parents and the kids, they basically are like, wow, Dad, I'm so happy to see you. I don't get to see you very often. And then the dad is like, oh yeah, it looks like you're about 17 now. The last time I saw you, you were 4.
Oh.
Like, no joke. And it's like that for, as far as I could tell, every character.
Oh.
There is no... I mean, it just... Ooh, and this is also tying into what the game is saying with its mechanics. We were talking about this whenever we were playing Samurai Legend Musashi a little bit. But just the way that your characters act towards their children, and the children are still just in love with their parents. Pretty
It's like crazy.
Yeah, it's fucking insane. And is that just like, I feel like I'd like to do, I'll need to do a little more research, but from what I've heard, parents and their relationships have him moved out of the woods and then have Nils play for him. And that'll do it. They'll be able to get to him. I feel like the relationships between parents and their kids in Japan, generally, like broadly speaking, is a little fucked.
A little bit weird compared to like what we're used to.
Well, the expectations for I don't want to say affection. Well, respect.
Yeah.
No, don't wait. Don't give him free reign to just do whatever the fuck he wants. Kill him. Kill him with a lance.
Like that?
Yes. Sorry, I'm mad at Japan because I feel like they expect too much of their children.
Yeah.
Just as a culture.
As a culture.
And they also have some very nasty things to suggest about the West, okay? Like that we're necromancers.
Or at least that's what this particular game is playing out at the moment. Should I really even go north? Hang on, let's listen for a second. Does it still mean they're
Yes, that means that there's still motherfuckers out there. We'll explore the northern reaches next time.
Maybe some of your issues.
Yeah. A few of them.